Good morning. Well, yeah, it's still morning. Just checking. As you can tell, it's kind of an overcast day here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Got a little project today. We're gonna have to fix the old red truck Ruby once again. So, went to use it the other day, and I got click, click, click. So, checked the battery's good. In fact, we're gonna throw it on a charger. I do have a battery load tester. I'm gonna show you how the battery load tester works. And we're gonna pull out the starter, and hopefully once we change out the starter, this old girl will be back in business. I did get on there and look a couple days ago, and it still has a factory starter in it. It's 2006, so I guess 30 years on a starter is pretty good. Anyway, that's the plan. I'll take you guys along for the journey. Got some new tools and new toys to try out, so anyway, let's get after it. Okay, that's where we're at so far. Got the tire pulled off, truck's on a jack stand for safety, wheels are chocked, got the battery charger hooked up. Now I did pull 2 bolts the other day, the easy ones. I left the hard one. See if I can show you the hard bolt here. So there's the back of the, I'm gonna change my camera here. Okay, so the light's right there's on the back of the starter. See that bolt back up in there? I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Anyway, I'm gonna try to go through the wheel well here with an extension. Let me see, through this way, and wobbly. See if I can get on that bolt and get it pulled. All right, so what I got: wobbly, socket, long extension, flashlight. Hopefully we can fish this thing in here. Oh, we're on it. Oh, yeah, we got it because the starter's falling out. I guess it's old and bad. We can let it drop if we wanted to. So see if we can save our tool. Oh, there goes the bolt. And here comes the starter. Boom. Okay, I got the starter out. Got it up here on the bench in the vise. So I'm testing it out. So to test the starter, easy way to do it: hook a ground to the body of the starter. If you hook your positive lead to the solenoid, so this transfers power via your car switch and this little tab back around to the starter, you can then just jump her across to the wire between the positive and the terminal. Now, I think the issue with the truck, put that down. I think the issue with the truck is definitely the starter, or I'm 99% sure. But when I went to test this, the starter does turn. But I think what we did is when I just dropped it, when we pulled it out of the truck, that it dislodged the Bendix, and so it's working. But you'll hear that the bearings don't sound all that good in it. Hear that grinding and everything else? So I've got it out. It's $130 or whatever for a new starter. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace the starter. We've got the battery on the charger. I did load test the battery last week. Said the battery was but once again, it's an old battery, but it's had enough power to crank it, and the battery's not dead. One of the reasons that I know it's the starter, not a charging issue, at least from the battery, is that with the ignition on, like, all the dash lights stay lit. I can roll the windows up and down and everything else. It just acted like it didn't have enough juice to start the truck. So that's why I suspected that it was the starter. It seems like I have enough juice to do everything else. Usually if there's not enough juice in the battery to start the truck, like, your windows will go up and down slow. When you turn the ignition on to start it, like, all your dash lights will go off and all that stuff. All that stuff is staying on. So pretty sure it's the starter. Like I said, I'm pretty sure when we just dropped it, getting it out of the truck, and it slammed on the ground, that it was stuck, and we just dislodged it. I mean, you know, kind of an old starter hack is the whacking with a hammer. At this point, I have it out. I don't want to crawl underneath that truck. I'm too fat to get underneath there, so I'm going to run down to the auto parts store. We'll get a new starter, and we'll get it thrown in, and then we'll see if we fix the issue. The only other thing that it could be is it could be the battery cable or the power cable running from the battery to the starter is degraded enough that it can't carry enough amperage to crank over the starter. I don't think that's the case. It looks good down on the starter end. The other end of the battery, in a previous video, I changed out the terminals and I cleaned it all up. So maybe before we throw the starter in, or at least hook it up, I'll get underneath there with an ohm meter and we can check end to end, and we can see the continuity and make sure that it's not like showing a whole bunch of ohms or resistance, that it's pretty much just showing zero, because it's just, the wire's good. So anyway, go to the store, I'll get a starter, I'll be back. All right, I got the new starter in the truck, except for that top bolt. I want to show you a little trick here. So if you don't know what the end of this is, it's a universal joint. So see how it moves around. So that means you can tighten stuff kind of at an angle like that. Here's the socket for it. Goes on. So you can reach in, and as you can see right now, it's got a little bit of an angle on it. Let's get less belly and more Jeff. There we go. Less Jeff belly, more face. Anyway, but the problem is like on a long piece, to try to reach in, a lot of times, see how it's moves around wherever. So what you do, take a piece of electrical tape. See, now I'm in the wrong spot. Let me go back this way, more belly, where I can work. Take a piece of electrical tape, wrap it through the center of the universal joint. Okay, just one layer. And now, see how it holds it straight? But the tape is flexible enough that it has just enough bend in it that when you put it on something and push in one way or the other, like that, like you can get the bend back out of it. So it's just a little bit stiffer. Anyway, we take this, we'll go put that top bolt back in, and then we'll ohm out the ground, and we'll ohm out the power cable that's going to it. We'll make sure that those are good, and then we'll try it. Actually, before that, we'll load test that battery. I'll show you how I do that too. Anyway, I did not show you putting in the starter. It's me laying on my back underneath the truck, grunting a whole lot. It's pretty boring, but let's go put in that top bolt. All right, here's another electrical tape hack. I'm gonna have to reach into that hole to get this bolt in there. But when I put the bolt in, like, it doesn't take much for me to hit it, and it'll fall out. So if you take a piece of electrical tape again, put it on the head of the bolt, like so. Now, it's just a space filler. When you mash it in the socket, now it's nice and tight. It's not moving out of there at all. So anyway, so if you ever need to reach long areas or in something deep and you want everything to stay, a little bit of electrical tape goes a long ways. All right, so let's put us back on our little driver here. Let's get our flashlight. See if we can find that spot again. There it is. Get in there. All right, I think we're on it. Let's see what happens. There we go. All right, we got it. I just gotta get the tool out of there. Just like that, bolts put in. So, starter's in there nice and tight. Let's ohm out these cables. All right, this is a multimeter. I'm gonna show you how to check ohms in something. So if you look at the little omega symbol up here on top, that's your ohms reading, all right? And what that does in your meter, let's put the stand up here so that you can see. So right now, it's showing open, okay? Which means that the two of these, there's no connection between the two of them, all right? So it's an open switch, basically, right? So your light switch, when you flip it off, you're opening the switch. There's no continuity between them. If we touch the two ends of these together, start to see the meter flash, okay? So that's showing 0.2 ohms of resistance between those two metal tips, all right? So in this particular case, if we hook a piece of wire to it, right, this is what we're going to do with our cables to make sure it's good. And we hook this piece of wire to it, we're going to see it's still at 0.2 ohms. So this piece of wire that we just connected between the two leads on our meter is basically showing the same as if we just touched the two leads of the meter together. So as far as holding or passing amperage and an electrical current through this test wire, it's good. It tests good because it's the same as if we just touch the two leads together. Okay, so, and you know, you can do this kind of number, you can check and keep looking at your meter, see how the meter's flickering a little bit. So that would kind of show you sometimes if you have your connections are bad or whatever, right? So, but it's pretty much, it is flickering a little bit back and forth. Okay, now it's kind of jumping up all over the place. Then it should open for a second, but that might just be my leads here. Now it's going crazy. Let's open it up. 0.2. Okay, so we're gonna hook this to the power cable going to the starter, and we're also gonna hook it to the ground, and we're gonna make sure that we have, basically we're showing no resistance, that everything is, all the wires are talking good to each other. Okay, so down underneath the truck, I hooked the black wire to the cable. Let's see if we can put this somewhere we can see. Can you see that in the camera? Yeah, you can see it. Okay, so now we're going to take our red lead. We're just going to touch it to the, we're going to touch it to the battery cable connection, so we can basically, from this part, by touching it here on the terminal, we're testing through the terminal, through the lead, all the way down to the battery. And you can't see through my hand, so let's try that again. So we're showing about 40 ohms of resistance, 30 ohms, 35 in there. Let's try touching the actual cable. .28. So a lot of this too is making sure that where you're testing is where you're touching it to is a clean connection. Down underneath the truck, it's not super clean either. So, but anything is less than 100 is good. So now I'll do the same thing, and we'll check the negative side of the battery, and we'll make sure the ground's good. All right, here, let's try again. Okay, so we're showing open. I have it connected to the ground down there. If we touch it to this, so 20, 30 in there somewhere. I do need to clean up those terminal rings down there, so when I go up to hook them this last time, I'll, there we go. Take a wire brush down there with me, and I clean up those terminals, because I still have to bolt them into the truck, so that'll probably help a little bit too. But at least from what I see on the meter there, the cables look good. They're not showing open, which would be a break. They're not showing super high resistance. They're showing a little bit, but it's loose connections. Not loose connections, corroded connections. So we'll grab a brush, we'll go do that stuff. Let me silence my podcast here. Anyway, so we'll go underneath there, we'll clean those up, get the starter all bolted up. My face is dark, so let's go that way. Anyway, we get the starter all bolted up, and then we'll test the battery. All right, this is a battery load tester. So what you do is you hook the negative and the positive to the battery. Can't quite see in here, but there's a big coil inside of it. We hit the switch, put a load on the battery, and then we'll read the voltage. It'll give us a starting voltage, and it'll give us a voltage under load. And after we test the battery, I'll go show you the little chart that kind of shows what's what. This battery's, well, older than I've been around the truck. I've never changed it, so 10 plus years. So see right now, can you see that? Yeah, our battery voltage says 12.7. We hold it for 10 seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 10. So 10.2 is what it came to. So we'll go look at the chart. All right, so if we look at our chart here, we were at 10.2, so we're in the good battery range. This thing can get pretty fancy. It talks about like temperature, blah, 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 but for our testing, the battery is still good. So the most important thing about using this whole battery tester is the battery's got to be completely charged, which I had just taken the charger off of it. So we know our battery's good. We know that the starter is good now. We tested the cables, they should be good. So unless we have some kind of other switching issue, everything should be fixed. So I'm gonna hook up the, turn this back around here. So I'm trying to learn this whole camera thing. See, now you can see my face because I'm standing in my main end of my garage. So we'll hook the battery cable back up and then put the key in it, and we'll see if it cranks and starts. And I'll make sure you guys get to witness the startup, see if it works. Okay, here's the moment of truth. Let's see if we got it fixed. Man, I haven't heard it spin over and start that fast in years. So there we go. It's all good to go now.